Hey everybody, Professor Z here. Today I'm going to talk about the Photography Alphabet Project. So for this project, it's really about composition and seeing the world in a different light through the lens of your camera. So for this project, you can either use your phone or you can use a camera if you have one, okay? So whichever one you have access to, you can use for this project. Now, whether you're using your phone or your camera, whichever it is, one thing you want to do is turn on the photo grid on that device. So on your iPhone, you can go into your camera settings through the settings menu and turn on the camera grid. And depending on which kind of phone you have, this is going to either be in the settings menu, the view menu. They're all different spaces, so explore your menu on your camera, whether it's Canon or Lumix or Nikon, whatever it is, and you'll find a grid overlay, and you can get this nice overlay where it's two vertical lines and two horizontal lines, and that divides your camera screen up into thirds. So that's the rule of thirds. In fact, if you're looking at my picture right now, my face is kind of on the intersection of two of those lines. That's how we use it for composition. It helps us guide where we want to put people, and I'm facing towards the rest of the camera here, so I have space in front of me, not over here where all the space is behind me. So that's kind of one way you use that rule of thirds. And we'll talk about that more in a different part of the lessons. But we want to use that even just for this assignment where we can find objects and line them up using those lines, put them on the intersections of those lines, and really make interest with those overlays. So the photography assignment here on the website, you can see a small example of what it looks like. And I'm going to go through a whole process of doing it again. I went through, took some photos today. I didn't do the whole alphabet, but I did a lot. I'll go through, on the hard drive, how to organize them, rename them, and all that stuff, and then put them on your website. So we're going to go through that whole process within this video. For this assignment, you're going to be looking for objects that look like letters in their natural environment. So you're not going to rearrange objects to look like a letter. You want to look and find something like this camera lens right here. Like, right, that's an O. It's right there. I didn't have to do anything. I can just move my camera and position it in such a way that it looks like an O. So I want to find things that on their own, if I just move the camera into the right position, are going to represent that letter. Now I can also, in post-production, rotate my images, because based on how you hold your phone or your camera, it's going to want to either do it long ways or tall ways. And so you might have to rotate it once you get it onto your computer, and that's fine, right? It's okay to have to do that once we get it to the computer. But that's what we want to do. We want to end up on a website, on our website, with the photo grid, and that's what it's going to look like. So here in my Finder, these are photos I took earlier of various objects that look like different letters if we look at them carefully. So this right here, when I rotate it, I'm going to rotate this in a moment, it's going to be a U, okay? And this will be, oh, it's a very dirty lens there, but that's going to be my O. And this is going to be a D, just the way it is. I'm going to rotate it, and this is going to be a Q. This is my R. It's a little lowercase r kind of thing there, I see. And this is a T, a lowercase t. I'm going to use this for a C. Just the handle of the mug is a C. I was trying to see if this could be a V, but I might not use this one at all. This is my Z. And I thought I had some more. Oh, they're on a different line here. Here's a V, an M, an X, maybe an H, and I'm not sure what I was going with this one. I was doing something and I forgot. Oh, I'm going to rotate this. This is going to be an A. So these are my photos before I've done anything to them. And we're going to do very simple editing in this process. Now, before you get to here, if you took them on your phone and you just transfer them to your computer, they might not come out as JPEGs. Now, the way I got them here is I took them on my phone, I opened up the Photos app on my computer, and when I dragged them to a different folder, it automatically made them JPEGs, which was really nice. So if you use your iCloud account and you take them on your phone and you bring them over, they might already be JPEGs. If you're taking them on your camera, make sure you have your camera set to JPEG, and it'll be JPEG file when you download it. However, when you take it on your phone, it might be another file type. It might be this HEIC file type. So if you get an HEIC file type, you can go ahead and just search for an HEIC to JPEG converter. And there are a bunch of free tools on the internet where you can open them up and you can do that. And you can just click on one of those, upload it, and it'll save it to a JPEG for you, then re-download it. Also, if you're on a certain computers, you can use the programs built into it to open it and then save it as a JPEG afterwards. It's important to save it as a JPEG because the website, the Weebly website, will not take the HEIC files. You need to convert them to a JPEG or a PNG file in order for it to work. And if you have troubles with that, shoot me an email and we'll go through that a little further. So let's look at these photos. I am going to, let me put this back in list view here. So actually, now you see this, I'm previewing them real quick. If you have a Mac, when you press your space bar, it opens up this preview of whatever you're on, and I can arrow through them very easily. What I want to do now is I actually want to rename these based on the letters they are. So even before I bring them somewhere else, so if I know that's going to be a U, I can click, I just clicked on the name, I clicked on it once, and I'm going to make that a U. I want this to be, oops, come on, an O. Oh, oops, hey, I always hit that special character button on my keyboard by accident. Make that a D. So it's okay to take more than one photo per thing, and you can do what we call editing later on, or culling through your photos to figure out what you're going to use and what you're not going to use. So you might have 2 or 3 of the same letter, and then when you go through the editing process, maybe you made them, V1, V2, V3, or A1, A2, A3, and then figure out which one you want to use afterwards. It's a very common practice in photography to take multiples of the same thing and then decide what to use later on. Now what's nice is now that I've given them proper names, when I go back to list view, now they're in alphabetical order. And these two, I'm going to delete these. I might move them to another folder usually, but I'm just going to get rid of them for now. So here's the ones that I kept. Now, if I need to edit these any further, I can select also either Command A on my keyboard, or I can click and drag, or you can click on the first one and hold down Shift and click on the last one. Those are different ways to select all, and I'm going to open them with the Preview app on my computer. So if you have an Apple and you open up Preview, now we can do some very simple editing. We're not doing any Photoshop grade editing here. We're just doing very simple stuff that's going to be saved automatically as we do it. So for this one, I just want to rotate it counterclockwise. So if I go to my tools, I can say rotate left. And now I have my A shape that I was looking for. It's not as quite, oh, there it is. There's the A. Look at that. That's my A. This one's okay. This one's okay. Let's scroll down. I want to rotate this to the left. Now you notice anything that has a little shortcut next to it, you can use those shortcut keys sometimes for whatever reason. This is, oh, there it is, Command L. I rotated it. I'm going to Command L on this one as well. That one's good. That's good. Oh, let's Command L again. And the rest of these are okay. So I did that rotation. If we look back in my Finder now, look at that. Because I did it through Preview, it's automatically saved. It's already in the correct settings for here. Now I am ready to put these on my website. So I'm going to get Preview out of the way for now. And I'm just going to move this over here. Here is my editor for my Weebly website. So once you are ready to go here, log back into your Weebly account. And I'm going to click on the Photos page that we created already. And now I need to I'm going to drag 2 different elements here. I'm going to bring a title in and a photo gallery. So first thing is the title. I'm just going to click and drag that right here. And then it says click here to edit. Let's go ahead, click there and do photo alphabet. And there it is. And now I want to create a photo gallery. So I'm going to click and drag this underneath. Now look, you could also go to the right of things. So you can go left and right. You can make columns of things, but we just want to put this underneath. And here it says upload images. So I'm going to click on it. And now I can, two different ways. I could click upload files from my computer and click on that and then navigate to where it is. But I already have my Finder window open right here. So I can, again, select all of these and click and drag them in. Now while they're uploading, I'll point out, you can see the file size all the way to my right here. This is something you do need to pay attention to. Anything that is larger than 10 megabytes will not upload to the Weebly website. So for those things, you would have to open up something like Preview and then export it as a lower quality photo. It's not that hard to do. Let me just show you that real quick. So say this was too large, I could, export it. And there's a scale there. You see the slider down at the bottom? So I can navigate to where I want to save it, but I can move that scale and it's going to change the size. It automatically shows me what that size will be, which is really nice. We're not going to do that right now. So if you do have something that is too large, that is how you would fix that. And now because these are also alphabetical already, because I rearranged them, they should upload in the correct order. Now you see as you're uploading, there's a little progress bar on the bottom right here. Try not to do anything else while it's going on. It doesn't like that. And once it's done here, I can now see a little preview. And you can change some of the settings on the grid. So if I click anywhere within the blue area here, you can see I can still add more images. So if I need to add more, I could. You can change how many columns are on the grid. So I can make it a little wider, a little narrower. So depending on what I'm trying to present and how much information I want to squeeze in one spot, I can do that. The spacing right here, this is just the margins between the images, and this is the top and bottom margins right here. We can also have captions. So maybe I turn that on and hover over, you'll see what that looks like in a second. And then there's image spacing. So I can make it real tight if I wanted to, make it no space in between. I could add a border between them if I wanted to. So this is where I can kind of go in and really mess with it. I can also take off the image ratio and just make it be their actual images. I kind of like it with the rectangle. I like how that looks in here. I can click on the individual picture here. I can add a caption. So I can say this is A and then C. So now I've gone ahead and I've put the captions on and all that stuff. So the only thing left to do is to publish the website, because I can't actually see a full preview of what it should look like right now. I still need to publish it to make it live. So we're going to hit publish, and then we'll click on our link to go and preview that. So I'm going to click on the photos page here and see if I hover over. Oh, I didn't see the captions working. So when I click on them, you can see that it'll then go to this little slideshow view, which is really nice because you can go through them and see them as they should look in their larger image format. Now, I put on captions. I'm not seeing the captions. Let's double check something here. So, captioning. Let's turn that on to here and see what happens. We always have to refresh when we do something like that. So I'm not sure why the captions are not currently working for this. It's not the most important part of this project. The important part is to get your photos up there. So they're in alphabetical order. They look like a letter of the alphabet, and they're found objects. These are all things that are lying around. Yes, this is a mess that is on my desk in my office right now, but it kind of looks like a cue to me because you got a circle here with a little thing sticking off with the power outlets on it. So these are things that look like letters to me. This is part of a, these two right here are parts of paintings in the hallway outside. This is the microphone stand that's holding the microphone that's off camera right now. And that's my mouse pad and my phone cable. These are cubicle walls. There's my feet, but that's a door handle. You know, there's, like I said, a camera lens, some couches, some doors. That's a handle on a rolling case. That's obviously a coffee mug, and that's a stairwell sideways. So there's a lot of things right around you. You know, I did this little bit in just 5 minutes. I'm still missing a couple, but this is what I did in 5 minutes. Take your time with it, have fun with it. Like I say, walk around your house, your dorm, your apartment, wherever you're having it living, where you're working. Use your phone. You can have that with you wherever you are, so you can just be snapping photos as you're walking through life, and find those objects that look like a letter. Whether you find it naturally, you gotta maybe move your camera or your body around a little bit, rotate the image in post production if you need to, and then get them onto your website. And once you're done, you're going to copy the link that's in your address bar up here, and that's what you're going to submit on Blackboard when you have completed the project, so I know to go in and look at your work. If you have any questions, please again always send me an email, and I look forward to seeing your pictures.